There's a whole world out there to still discover. All right, I'm real deep in nature right now.
I wanted to do this. Seems like a terrible idea.
Nice, that's looking so good. Are we good in the right and the left? We're left, we're ready? Left, ready, right, go. Today's a beautiful day. Hello, my friend.
Hello.
Hope you're having an awesome day so far as well. Maybe you just got up, or you're watching this at night on the couch, or you're outside and looking to find some information about some wild plants.
Yeah.
Today we are going in the mountains, and we're gonna see what we can find. It's, you know, the foraging season here in Montana, I would say, is in full swing, at least the late spring, early summer foraging season. And we're getting to the point where you kind of gotta make, have priorities about what you want to get after, because a lot of things are growing, a lot of things are blooming, and this is the time where the FOMO kicks in, and also it can get a bit overwhelming in the foraging woods, I would say. One big thing that we've been trying to find more of, if you watched some of our other videos, specifically the last one where we were in the mountains, is Spring Beauty. Spring Beauty, also called Rocky Mountain Potato. Very important food source for wildlife and also people throughout the ages here that used to live here and still live here. So it was definitely a big food source in the indigenous food system of this area and the entire U.S., I would say. I don't think it grows down south, but I know it grows like in the Midwest and definitely here in the Mountain West. So Spring Beauty is one we would definitely still like to find this year. We have found it, but never in there was never enough in a spot that we felt comfortable taking a lot of it.
Yeah.
The roots,
just little tea time samplers.
Yeah, little samplers, just little snacks, trail snacks so far. So I know where we're going, there's supposed to be pretty good terrain for it. So
you think that's like the OG trail mix?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that and berries. Man, berries are coming soon too. Service berries, we got to pay attention to those. I know in some parts of the states, they're already looking for them and harvesting them. So they're kind of usually an earlier berry, from my experience. But going back to Spring Beauty, they if we do find some today, like a pretty good amount, we're gonna harvest a few. And beyond
not too many,
just a few, because we have other things we can find to add to our meal, so it doesn't need to be a full-on just Spring Beauty meal. But beyond the Spring Beauty, it's kind of time to get spruce tips, depending on what elevation you're at. We already saw some last weekend, so I think we're gonna have to just gather a bunch of those today if we see them. And then we'll see what we'll make with them. Ice cream is definitely something we want to do with the spruce tips.
Mm-hmm.
It probably won't be part of this video. We'll do it in a separate video if we get some today. And then beyond spruce trips, the spruce does not make you trip, but the spruce does have tips.
That would be an interesting video. Foragers go out and trip on spruce.
Yeah, spruce tips, you can use them in many different ways. I like using them to make spruce salt. And talking about salt, another plant that I would like to find that I know is in this area, that I've seen there before, earlier in the year when it was pretty young, is wild bergamot, the bee balm, the Monarda. Monarda is the genus. I think it's Monarda fritulosa. The one we have out here, the species. So that is one of my absolute favorite herbs to get in the wild. It is also called wild oregano by my friends and I and a lot of other foragers, because it does indeed taste a lot and smell a lot like oregano. It can be pretty spicy, I've noticed. Like out here with the rocky I don't know if it's the rocky soil or what, but yeah, the Monarda can be quite spicy. But it's good, and why I bring it up is, one, I'm hoping to find it, but also, you know, I was talking about the spruce salt. Monarda is another one that's great to use for like an herb salt, basically. And I gotta move my mic, I think, a little bit here. I hope it wasn't covered too much.
This is the worst timing.
The worst time while I'm getting on the highway, move the mic.
With people on both sides of you, like, it's fine.
So yeah, we're gonna head to the mountains now, and we'll talk to you guys when we're there. See you soon.
Goodbye.
All right, we just found our first Monarda of the day. I hadn't seen them in this spot yet. So pretty cool, because now we have a bunch more close by here, right off the trail, that we didn't have to work too hard for. Show them to the camera quick. There you guys can see the Monarda. What do you think?
They smell super fresh.
Super fresh?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit minty, oregano-y.
Yep. I feel like this would make a really nice tea.
Yeah, they make an awesome pesto, like mixed with ramps. I used to gather these in Wisconsin. And they have thymol in them, which is what thyme and, or thymol. It's what thyme and oregano have. And it gives
Is it okay to do raw?
Oregano smell. Yeah, you can eat it raw. It's great raw. Spicy a bit. It's a little spicy. It's like a very strong oregano / thyme flavor.
It's very refreshing though.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't feel too overpoweringly spicy.
I agree. If you do ever want to collect seeds from this and plant some native plants in your backyard, this is a great one. It's very easy to grow from seed and grows prolifically and is an awesome pollination, like a pollinator plant. So a lot of people don't notice, and I didn't notice forever, but there is actually a Rocky Mountain maple, and we have it right here. How cool is that? Very serrated edges or margins on the leaf here, and we saw some that were growing flowers already and already had little maple seed pods on them. Just trying to see if I can find any. It was about a little bit lower in the elevation, so up here on this one I don't really see them yet, but it's pretty cool. You know, I was thinking about maybe I can find a big enough one to tap one day. I don't know if they have the same sugar content as sugar maples. I doubt it, but you know, if I could find one that's big enough, it might be worth getting a little bit of just maple sap and not even turn it into syrup, just for drinking, making a nice like tea with or something like that. But most of them they're very skinny, they're very thin in diameter. It's more of a shrub out here than a tree. I have seen some pretty big ones though, diameter wise. So always keeping an eye out for those right now. Pretty cool though that we have a maple here in Montana. Alright, we're gonna keep moving back now and see if we can find some more Monarda, and hopefully we just run into that Spring Beauty field. That would be ideal. Another plant we just found is Sarasberry, and up here at this elevation they're already past the flowering stage, and they're starting to grow the berries. I hope you can see that there. But this is interesting to me because that tells me that now down in the valley I have to start looking for them, because if up here in the mountains they're already this far, they might be a lot riper down below. So that's just always something to pay attention to. Like while you're out here, especially around this time of the year, mid-June now, you're gonna want to pay attention to everything, and it does get tough sometimes. All right, let's keep moving. It's really tough to see in this high grass, but we have some more Monarda right here. Let me just harvest some. So later in a few more weeks, they're gonna be like 2 feet tall, and once they get kind of past that, they're gonna start flowering, so you want to get them before they get like to the 2 feet mark. Usually, at least that's what I like to do. I like them the most when they're small like this. But they do, I think, kind of, you know, I've tasted mixed things. Sometimes they get more mild as they grow larger, but sometimes they also get a bit stronger. So it's kind of like spruce tips, where you just kind of have to sample them in the spot that you're at and just kind of see how they taste. Because if you don't like super spicy herbs, then, you know, you might not want to start harvesting a bunch here without giving it a little sample first. And we also got some more salsify here. And we're about to get to a meadow and a nice hillside behind us, so I'm really hoping that we might see some spring beauty in there. So let's see. There's still so many plants here that I don't even know about in meadows like these. But it's also kind of exciting, because that means there's a whole world out there to still discover. Oh, there's tons of Monarda right here. Tons of the bee balm. We're gonna have to get a bunch of this. It's like all over here. Something I forgot to mention earlier. I did say that it's in the mint family, which is why you get a bit of a minty taste. But all the mint family plants will have a square stem. So that's a really good ID factor for them. And then also the leaves are opposite, meaning they're right across from each other. Let me just come in a little closer. So here you can see that square stem that all the mint family plants have. Perfectly square sides. And then for the Monarda here, the further you go down the stem, you also notice that it's hollow. So that's another thing to look for, ID factor wise. It's got the opposite leaves, and then the actual leaves have serrated margins, meaning like they're saw-toothed on the outside. Another thing I've noticed is that in the spring, like when it's right after the snow melt, these can be a bit purplish. That's just something I've seen a lot in Wisconsin. So when they're very young, the leaves can be quite purplish. We don't really see any of that around here right now. So another thing to watch out for. But yeah, we came to the right spot for them. There's a ton of bee balm here right now. So we're just gonna keep picking that and see what else we find, I guess. I want to get enough to also make some herb salt with this on the weekend here. Cool thing about Monarda is it'll stay good in the fridge for like at least a week in a Ziploc bag. So you got some time after harvest to process it and use it.
Check out this salsify. It's like the biggest, tiniest salsify ever. And it's still super tender all the way down, which is very exciting.
Nice.
She's thick.
There's a lot out here.
Yeah.
Definitely got to mark this spot for salsify too.
For sure.
To all the elk hunters out there, or anyone who likes to hunt ruminants out in nature. What I'm doing right now here is I'm bedded down, just like one of those ruminants we love to hunt. And sometimes, you know, you just got to do this to really learn how the elk and other ruminants think. Got to go full on herbivore out here and just, you know, be them. Snack on some wild plants. And if you do that long enough, do that for a week, man, you might as well be in the herd at that point. So, this is how foraging translates to hunting.
I'm pretty sure it's going to start raining on us here soon.
Yeah, it does feel like it.
Yeah.
Well,
Which isn't bad.
Yeah, if we have to switch spots though, I know another place we can go.
Boop, boop. Is it higher up?
Way higher.
Dang it. I'm pretty sure if it's raining here, it's going to be raining anywhere.
But it's Montana. Wait
Yeah.
5 minutes and what?
Go inside?
No, if you don't like the weather.
Run and hide?
If you don't like the weather.
Just wait 5 minutes.
That's right.
So we've never tried the root of this specific plant before.
Arrow Leaf Balsam Root.
Yeah, the balsam root. So we're gonna dig it up, see what the root is like, and then take some of these young leaves and peel those and cook those up later too. So it's an experimental day.
You know, it's got a pretty big root, and I've read that Native Americans love to eat it. People who know about the indigenous food around here.
I wanted to do this. Seems like a terrible idea.
Lindy got a little cut
Come here.
from our new knife, so we called him the
Waffles, come up
support
here.
dog.
Sit. Stay.
Our support dog has the Band-Aids. That's what you have a dog for in the mountains. Carry your stuff. And his water and food. Is it really bad?
It's a bit deep, but it's not bleeding bad yet.
Okay. Hey buddy, stop eating that stuff. You're a dog. You're not an herbivore. My turn.
Thankfully,
very
Polly
rock-
has taken over.
Yeah, it's very rocky though. And I have another tool that I think comes in handy when digging roots. Especially if you don't want to cut the root. And that's this. A little bit longer. Not really, barely. But it's got a blunt top. So you can get down there and don't have to worry so much about cutting the root in accident. Oh my God, a rock. The trick when you're digging roots is not to be hungry, because then you have much more patience for it.
I cannot relate.
I'm curious to see if this is like burdock, where the top is super fibrous. Sure feels like it. And the bottom is the more tender part.
One very fun fact about Poldy is that every time he finds a rock, no matter what the rock is, he goes, "Ooh, it's silver," or it's obsidian. This is a diamond. It's gold.
I think this might be obsidian. Someone better tell Jon Snow we found a jackpot. He does not need to go to Dragon Mound. Mountains of Montana, baby.
Every rock.
All right, I'm real deep in nature right now. In that soil. I was about to make it to the bottom, and then we just hit another rock field here, it looks like. So I'm gonna try to cut these all the way in the bottom, and hopefully we get most of them out. But I'm like right at the tip now. You'll see in a sec. Let me actually use my good knife for this. That bushcraft knife just coming out. All right. Ta-da! Yay! Watch out, buddy, there's a knife. Don't lick my mic.
He's so bored.
You silly boy. What did we get? Look, we got it. Yay!
It looks
not a
like
stick.
a little tree child.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
Like a weird witch voodoo doll.
Oh, you know what it looks like in Harry Potter? The
Oh, what are they
God.
called? Not
second
mandrakes?
movie. Yes, mandrakes. Right, the screaming mandrake.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see, because up here, this feels very hard and tough. But as I was digging, I was noticing I was pulling off this outer hard layer, and down under here, it still feels really fibrous, but a bit better. So we'll have to see how to process this. We're just gonna test it out and play around with it. All right, that took like half an hour now. I don't know if it's worth it. Definitely not if you see really rocky terrain like this, I would say. I'm sure there's some spots where it would be a lot more worth it. We're gonna go now, probably head back to the trail. And I don't think we're gonna find any more spring beauties, sadly, this year. We know one spot we might stop by now, but we'd have to hike at least an hour in there. So in the car, I'm gonna make a decision whether I wanna do that today or not. If we don't, we'll just cook up what we got now and hope that it'll be semi-edible. We're back home now. It started raining, so we decided to skip the cooking outside part and actually cook at home. I got that balsam root here, and I have no idea how to process this, to be honest. So I did notice, like I mentioned earlier, that while I was digging, this outer shell was pretty easy to take off. So I'm gonna take it off and try to get to those inner parts and to see how that goes. And as you can tell, I got my lovely Montana block board here, but I don't want to get it dirty right now and I have to clean the whole thing. So I'm using an older, crappier wooden cutting board beneath. But let's just see how to bet. Like, look at this, it's so hard I can't even get here with the can't even get in with this knife really. But we'll see. Ooh, I have to put some serious force behind that. So this is looking pretty fibrous. Smells good though. So you can see what I mean by peeling it. Like this outer bark, it's almost like a tree bark. This is working the best so far. Just gonna make little chops, little incisions, and then get it off. I don't even know if I should mess with this. Like, I mean, it just seems super fibrous. I gotta say, I have never, I haven't even looked into how to process these. We just kind of decided randomly to go after these today. So you might know a much better way. If you do, let us know in the comments below. So us and people watching, other people watching can learn from you as well. Because there's got to be a good way to cook these. I know Native Americans went after these, and if we can figure it out, that'd be great, because there's so many in the mountains, so many. Might be a great food source if done right. Okay, so the balsam root is pretty clean, I would say. Next up, we got a bunch of our wild bergamot here, the monarda. And interestingly, it kind of turned brown. Like, I've never had it do this before. But I think what just happened is that it oxidized in the heat. Usually what I like to do is bring a little cooler bag or something for some of the greens when I go out there. Yeah, but it won't harm it. Now what we're gonna try with the bee balm or monarda, wild bergamot, whatever you wanna call it. I'm just gonna call it monarda going here on out, or from here on out. What we're gonna do with that is I went to foragerchef.com. Great website, by the way. My buddy Alan Burgo, who I've had on the Year of Plenty podcast, not podcast. And we're going to try an Italian salmoriglio sauce. I'm half Italian, and that was super embarrassing. Here's the recipe. I'll blend it in a bit better so you can see it. So all that we have in here is we're going to have 1 cup of Italian parsley. We're going to have 1 cup of our bergamot. We're going to have a clove of garlic. We're going to have a clove and a half of garlic because we like garlic. And then a cup of extra virgin olive oil. He says half a cup of light olive oil and then half a cup of extra virgin olive oil. We only have extra virgin olive oil in this household, so that's all we're going to use. A 1/4 cup of water, 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice, and then zest from 1 large lemon. I could not find an organic lemon. Now only do the zest if I have an organic lemon, so we're gonna have to skip that. And then just salt to taste, basically, and that's it. And then of course you're gonna need a nifty blender. That is the best way to really do this. We did just have to go ahead and blanch the parsley in some salt water real quick, put it in an ice bath afterwards, and then pat dry. And from there on, we're now ready to blend our ingredients up. So first, we gotta add the garlic to the blender, the lemon juice, 2 tablespoons, And next up, we're going to add the water. So a quarter cup of water. Not the oil yet, that will come later. Then we're going to add our greens, our bergamot and our parsley. That bergamot. Oop, I forgot a little bit. Then that parsley. Now the recipe says, I believe that we just need to start blending it now. 1 sec. Yep, now we're going to start blending and slowly drizzling in that olive oil. And then we're going to slowly drizzle in our oil as best we can. Oh God, it's getting sprayed everywhere. Let's turn it off real quick because I'm getting covered in oil. That's looking pretty good to me. We let it go for probably like 5 to 6 minutes now. Now, why is my shirt wet? Well, one thing I learned is don't wear a tan shirt when you're working with oils. I should have known better. The amount of shirts I've ruined this way. So I just clean it up a bit with some soap. Now, my lovely assistant behind the camera also informed me that the reason it's probably a bit runnier is that I added the oil too fast. And with emulsifying, you gotta go really slow. But all that oil spraying everywhere, I guess, scared me for a second there. It was pretty scary. So now we're gonna add salt and pepper to taste, blend it a bit more, and then we need to refrigerate it for a little bit while we go cooking outside. If the weather holds up. I got a fire pit going outside right now, so we're gonna try to cook our stuff over the fire. All right, let us add a little bit of pepper to the top. I'm gonna go probably, I'm not gonna overdo it here because I can always just add some later once it's done if we need to. But we do love salt in this household, and we got some nice Redmond's real salt here. Straight from the US of A. Probably like 2, we'll start with 2. 2 little teaspoons. Let's blend it a little bit more. Forager chef is probably turning around in his grave right now once he sees my sauce here. But I'm pretty happy with it. That's looking nice and green. I don't know, hopefully you guys can see that from here, from this angle. But we're gonna put this in the fridge now. And if we have to, we're gonna add some salt and pepper later. And then let's go outside. Lindy is out here on our Brio fire pit. Just gonna add the balsam root to the boiling water. And then I gotta put some more wood on there, I guess. We added just some salt water in there. We're gonna do vinegar, but you're not supposed to use acidic stuff in cast iron, so.
It's a big no-no.
Let's go clean the other plants we got. And then we're gonna start cooking.
Okay, fire is a go.
Yep.
Got our cast iron over on the side of our pit here.
We do.
We got our Brio. We've got our balsam root right now boiling in there with some salt water.
Boiling for probably half an hour.
Yep.
Trying to make it a bit tender.
A little bit more so. Now we're going to add some really nice grass-fed, grass-finished beef tallow.
Some that Lindy actually rendered herself.
Yeah, for making soap and such.
It's got that frying pan going.
It's definitely hot.
Show that plate quick.
Oh yeah. We've got dandelion root here. We've got the salsify over here, the balsam root, and then remind me the name of these.
Dame's Rocket.
Dame's Rocket. These are the ones that taste like the
Buttered popcorn.
buttered popcorn when you fry them up. So very excited there. But I think we're going to start with the dandelion root.
Then the salsify.
Actually, I was thinking we go with this one next. No?
I would
Okay.
go with the salsify first.
So dandelion, then the salsify, and then probably these two mixed in there.
Yeah, I would do this at the very end.
Okay.
Because that'll go quick.
Perfect. So add these bad boys in there. I think I can actually add my salsify on this other side. I think we can probably pull off our dandelion.
Are the roots looking good?
Yeah, they look great.
You're adding the balsam root stalks now.
Yeah. Salsify looks great.
Yeah, salsify looks really good. I'll bring the camera over in just a sec, but the trick with the stalks is you have to peel them with the balsam root. Otherwise, they're super bitter. And today we actually tried some longer leaf stalks, and they also weren't bitter once we peeled them. And I haven't done that before. I usually just get the little leaves, but it seems to be just the skin on there that's the issue. So that makes them bitter. Let me bring in the camera. Nice, that's looking so good.
Thank you, my sous chef.
You're doing great. I thought I'd be cooking, but Lindy's really hungry.
I'm starving.
I'm too slow.
We haven't eaten yet. So the elk meat that we have in here right now is kind of a partial mix. We've technically got 3 full roasts in here, so 2 from last year's, last year's elk. Just, roast meat that would have probably turned into burger or something else, and then 1 packet that we had from a roadkill elk that Poldy got 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like the last one we could find in the thing.
In the freezer.
In the freezer, yeah. So they've all just been slow cooked in the slow cooker overnight. I did it for 8 hours just with some salt and vinegar. And then they've just been in the fridge. I seasoned it all with a little bit of Snyder's prime rib seasoning the other day. So we're just kind of cooking up what we've got. It should make for a very tasty meal.
Yeah, leftovers. So the balsam root is still boiling. I think we're just going to let that boil a little longer. The longer, the softer it should get. Putting a nice braise on it. It might be really good in a stew. It cooks for like 3-4 hours.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see. So you can see, big plate of meat, little plate of veggies. That's how we like to roll. We're still, omnivores. We're not carnivores, but meat is usually the most the main food ingredient on our plate.
Let's go. Start off with some of our elk meat.
My God.
Right? We're not shy here. Little bit of our grilled up, what was it called again?
Dame's Rocket.
Dame's Rocket.
Just call it popcorn. Call it for what it is.
A little bit of our garnish because it's beautiful. Okay, some salsify. Balsam root. And a good healthy bit of our lovely sauce.
So I do want to say quick about the sauce. Let me come over there. Ellen Burgo, good job. Recipe approved by me. I just tried a little bit inside. Lindy, have you tried it yet?
No.
Just dip a little bit. You like it?
Yeah, that's really good.
I think I like a lot of salt, but if you don't like too much salt, it could have gone a little easier on it. I added 2 teaspoons into that.
I do think the lemon zest would have really made
Added
all
a
the
little bit
difference.
more,
Yeah.
too.
It's fantastic as it is now, but
It's still pretty liquidy. I don't know what it's supposed to be like. It looked a bit thicker in the video at least, but I think this is fine. Like,
I wonder if we could add a egg yolk and no water.
yeah. To just
get that really
try it out.
thick, creamy.
Maybe, yeah. It might work actually.
Could be good.
So
But
yeah, put it on the plate.
perfect.
Let's
it.
eat. Hey, long day, but
Are you ready
good
for
reward.
breakfast, lunch / dinner?
Yeah, first real meal of the day. Well, I'm ready to eat now and get to playing some Magic the Gathering maybe.
I'm gonna try.
Right here, yeah, we got the balsam root right here.
It seems hard.
It might not be edible. It might be super fibrous. Oh yeah. No. A big F.
I don't think that I can chew that
No.
and not have it get like
That's a big fail.
shards in my gums.
It tastes like the hard part of the artichoke, like if you've ever eaten an artichoke leaf. Yeah, let's try the dandelion root, if that's any better. That's softer.
Mhm.
That's tasty. Slight bitterness. Not too bad.
No, I like that one a lot. I mean, we are also harvesting the dandelions pretty late in the season.
Yeah,
So I think if we got
them earlier maybe.
before they were almost done flowering, I think they would be pretty
I like those though.
darn tasty.
The second one here with Barrett, not that bitter.
We got our salsify.
Let's try that sauce with the meat. Oh wow,
Good?
that's the winner. So we had a big fail with the balsam root. We had definitely a winner with the wild oregano, the monarda.
Yeah.
That's definitely something we should almost like make a bunch of this sauce and just have it ready to go.
We could,
You know, for like meal
tacos.
prep. Oh yeah. And beyond that, you know, we got some raw cheese here, some tomatoes that we bought.
Those
But
flowers, I think, are still my favorite.
yeah,
They do
popcorn.
taste like buttered popcorn. So good.
We have a whole video on those where we try them for the first time.
Those are definitely going to be a New Yearly staple. Those are delicious.
Yeah, I think it was a successful day though. Like, there has got to be a way to make that balsam root edible. So whether it be time of harvest, certain way of preparing it, but
Something.
I know it was eaten a lot by people in the past, so there's got to be a way.
Yeah.
Like, they wouldn't waste their time digging how we did
For half an hour.
Yeah, if they couldn't make it edible and tasty
Yeah.
in some way, you know.
Maybe fermented or
We gotta do more research. Again, if you know, let us know in the comments below.
they threw it in the fiery pits of doom.
Yeah, probably. Get a real nice char on it. All right, I think that's it. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.